What's up, everybody? So, you saw the thumbnail. So the old girl, here we go. The old girl is down, y'all. And look, it happens. I knew when I started my business that I was starting with scratch, okay? And I also knew that when I was prepared for this. And if I wasn't, then I shouldn't have got myself into it, right? So here we go. Let's give you guys a little, bring you guys around. Now check this out. So I've removed the starter, okay? You guys see the flywheel down there? For those of you that don't know, that big gear thing that you see in that hole down there, that is the flywheel, which is attached to the engine. And what happens is the starter, which is this is a Nippon Denso. I'm not sure if it's Nippo or Nippo. I would have to learn a little bit more about what it's called properly, but it's like Nippon Denso starter, okay? So basically, now I've already ordered the contacts, okay, and I ordered a new starter, okay? I'll put pictures of both up in here, and you'll see them with the little YouTube magic. All right, and so now today is Monday. Oh, by the way, also the watch hours, guys. Excuse me, I'm almost there. I'll put another picture up here, right around in there somewhere, so you guys can see the progress. We're like 26 away, so literally 26 watch hours. In other words, it's gonna happen this week, okay? All right, so now that we got that, let me get my box of gloves to prop the starter up against. I don't want it falling over. I would like you guys to be able to see this. All right, so I've been told with these types of starters that they're very, very strong. And when they go out, it's always, every single time, the coil in here, okay? Which there's other words for it. You know, you can call it a solenoid. But anyway, so you pull this off, okay? Carefully. Pull this thing off. All right. And now when you pull that off, guys, you're going to have this thing called a plunger on the inside, okay? And what you do is you pull your plunger out. And then now there's going to be different kinds, okay? These things down in there, they just dump right out, okay? And then some are held in by a ball and require a press. This one requires a press. Anyways, that would be if I were changing the... So here's what I'm doing to this one. I'm changing out these contacts here, okay? What's happening is do you see this? Do you see this here? What happens is when the starter is engaged, this copper piece shoots down, okay? And when it does, it connects with those two copper things down there, okay? Do you see them? What's happened is one side of those copper pieces are going down further than the other, and it's not allowing me contact. And I do know for sure that's it because I've tested everything. Once you know what you're doing, and if you engage the plunger, I tested for continuity on both sides, and I got nothing. Guys, I'm not a genius. I don't claim to be. These are things that I learned from YouTube, from watching YouTube videos, and I do have a manual for this truck that I was able to find on, and I'll show you a couple pictures of that stuff here so you guys can see I wasn't going in blind with this, which I would have done this anyways. Even if I didn't have that information, I absolutely would have taken this thing apart, just because I have to know how things work. My brain, even though I am ADHD and I'm always pretty not the most organized and stuff, I still have a very strong desire, for whatever reason, to take things apart and to see how they work. And I've been like that since I was a kid. One of my first sleepovers as a kid was with this kid. His name was Josh. I don't remember his last name, but he had this awesome fire truck, man. And it was like brand new. He had just gotten it for Christmas. And now keep in mind, this was my first sleepover, and I didn't know anything about boundaries or nothing. Apparently, I was left in the room alone. I had it was basically, you know, those things you clip your fingernails with that you spin one thingy out and you have a thing to clean up underneath your fingernails. I ended up taking that and taking the entire truck apart, and his mama come in the room, and needless to say, my first sleepover, I had to go home that night. Mama had to come back and pick me up. It was not good. I don't know how much that little fire truck cost. I didn't tear it up, but they did have to reassemble the whole thing, I'm sure. But yeah, I definitely remember that as a kid. Anyways, so what's happening is I ordered these new contacts. Okay, it comes with more stuff, but I may get in there and do all of it. It just depends. It just depends on how much work it seems like it is. But it seems like my starter, I ordered a new starter too. I got one for $60 on eBay. I'll also show a picture of it. That new starter is going to be here too, so I'll probably put the new starter on first, and then when I get the time, I'll rebuild this, right? That's my plan, at least. But that's it for now, you guys. You know, it wasn't difficult at all as far as the job was concerned. You know, I had the starter off, I think, in about 15 minutes after the truck got dropped off. But, you know, you have to keep your attitude in check with these things, and that's one thing I've learned how to do over time. Is okay, it's crappy that it's happened. It sucks that the truck is down. Does that make sense? Like, but to be able to take that upstairs and go inside and take it out on my kid and stuff, and just here's the thing: is when crap goes south, the strongest man in the room, the most effective, how about this, forget the strength, the most effective man in the room is the one that can control his emotions. Okay, I've learned this. Guys, I do not get into this often with y'all, and man, I'm probably going to get some bad feedback on this, and that's just fine, and I'm okay with that for this video. But mental health as a tow truck driver, guys, is a very real thing. I'll never forget my first fatality. I was dispatched on a motorcycle wreck, and you don't know I didn't know until I had gotten out there, and I got out there, and sure enough, I'm not going to go into details, but we'll say that it was a motorcycle versus an SUV, and the motorcycle didn't make it. Now, what you do get to see is enough to make a person think about things, okay? How fragile we are, number one. Whoa, there's the big one. Is you realize how fragile you are. I've seen some nasty wrecks, guys. I worked for a towing company that, man, I dispatch cop calls on a daily basis. And although I do love the job, and I'm not complaining about that part of the job at all, never will. I can handle it, but it takes strong mental health, okay? Let me get that sun out of y'all's eyes. It takes strong mental health, and when I say that, it is really, really important, you guys, for if you feel like you're bottling things up, or if you feel like things are getting a little tense, like maybe your fuse is getting short, maybe you're getting snappy, man, guys, I understand we're men, and the ladies too. I know there's lady operator out there, and truck drivers that, and y'all too. This goes for everybody. Go see somebody. Go get a therapist. Look, I understand that I've been seeing a therapist, okay, for going on probably about 8 months, I'm thinking. Well over 20 sessions. I've done a session a week, and I haven't missed a week. And let me tell you, and oh man, I don't know, I'll have to ask her, see if I can give her a shout out, but man, I love my therapist. She's absolutely amazing. When it comes down to just, and I do it video chat, I've never met her, just video chat, but when you have an outsider that's able to listen to all the stuff that you have going on, and then they can give you sound advice. A lot of times when you're angry or you're upset or you're anxious, like, let's say if this truck were to have gotten me bent out of sorts, right? Well, I had my kid all weekend. We didn't let that affect us one bit. Me and that baby played. We sat out in the hammock. We did our thing the entire weekend. I even, she was out for school, so I had her the entire time. Not once was there, me yelling, or, to me, it's just not worth it. you know, you can't take words back, you know. And so I think that ultimately it's very important for us all to recognize the fact that this job, even if you're just a truck driver, not just a truck driver, even if you're a truck driver as well, man, you see some gnarly stuff out there, guys. If you've seen some of that stuff and you feel like your fuse is getting a little bit short, please go see some help. Man, I'm going to tell you, since I've gotten my therapist, my life has changed. And of course, you know, it has a lot to do with wanting to do something about it. You can't, it's never going to fix itself. You're going to have to absolutely fight to make sure that it happens. You guys, I don't want to just talk your ears off about mental health this entire video, but you are going to see, especially when you're on police rotation or, you know, you're doing wrecks, you're going to see some stuff that is going to be awful. What you do is you get through it, do your job, you know, stay diligent in your tasks, make sure that you're focusing on what's important, because let the paramedics and the firefighters, every now and then, they might need your help. And if they need your help, they'll ask you. But for the most part, you know, when they do what they do, you do what you do. You get that stuff cleaned up. You get on out of Dodge. But for the love of goodness, man, when you're done, if you find that stuff has stuck with you in any type of way, find somebody and talk to. I mean, look, I'm recommending a therapist, but, you know, even if you've got a really close friend or somebody you love that, you know, has a good calm and they give good sound advice, you know, because sometimes, man, look, let me show you. You think I'm playing. Sometimes you're going to need to come home punching bag, okay? Look, it is like this with our job. I know it's a mess out here, you guys. I had a delivery dropped off and I haven't cleaned up. Thank you, Mighty. Okay, so, man, you got to punch a heavy bag, or there's that we can do to get the stuff off of our chest. Running, jogging, riding dirt bikes, whatever it is you do, you know, go let it out. Go get it out. Do what you got to do. Any job, any boss, any great leader would encourage this, okay? And the reason I'm saying this is because you can end up missing more time or even causing yourself very serious problems if you do not get something done about the things that you witness, okay? And I'm just saying, like, just talk about it. You can't keep it. I mean, maybe there are a select few people, you know, a lot of military, I've learned, like military trained people, they've already been broken completely, it seems, so they can just handle whatever. And shout out to all the military. I have nothing but respect to you guys. I'm not military at all. I didn't make that sacrifice. I would never claim to have made that sacrifice, but I have nothing but respect to you guys. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys from every single branch and gals. So when it comes down to it, you know, there are a few people who can actually, that won't need it, right? And they're special. But man, let me tell you, it ended up being something I had to have. So you don't go kicking yourself in the butt if a therapist ends up being in your life. It's not that you're a horrible person. It's just it means that you're learning how to deal with some horrible things, and that's okay. So man, I appreciate y'all watching. The starter will be here tomorrow. Shout out to Christina from Mighty. I got some new stuff coming, guys. It's two things in I've been kind of ordering, asking for quite a bit from them lately, and so I can't remember exactly what I have coming. I think it's like a bridle and maybe a hook, some type of tie-down hook. I can't really remember what I ordered, but I know it's coming. And when it gets here, guys, we'll go over it. We're gonna review it. Even if I get it before the truck's running, you know, if I get it today, we'll do a video of it today. We'll go over it, take a look at it and stuff. And you know, Christine, I just want to say thank you so much. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next video.